Hello. So I have still been thinking today about the video I made yesterday about just all the different videos that you can find on YouTube about how to attract a partner. And it makes me think even more about like how to just be happy within yourself, because you have to have that part first before you can attract a partner, or else the relationship isn't really a relationship. It's just codependency and putting off like the inner work that you need to do on yourself before you are in a relationship, or before you have much to really give to a person in a healthy way. So it made me think about when I was like college age, and I went away to college, and it was very lonely for me because I have always been a homebody and I love my family. And, they really felt like it was necessary for me to go to college. And so they insisted on it. And I lived an hour and a half away from my family, and it was a winding road, and they were scared that I would have a car accident on it because it's like through a rural area. So they insisted that I live there at the college. And I was really miserable. I was really lonely, and it was a really hard time for me. And I started going, well, a friend that I made, I did know that I needed to find a group of people to hang out with, to be friends with. And so I chose my group of people, and I started going to like their group meetings and things like that. Well, it was like a service oriented group that it just seemed like really nice people, and that's why I chose that group. It's why I joined. And one day, one of the members signed me up to go on a mission trip. And this was into like Miami. And it was one of those things where when you go with the flow of the universe, sometimes the very best things that you can do are things you would have never planned to do, never thought to do. But I went, and we were helping to make like a class for kids. And, it took all the focus off of my struggles of, feeling lonely and not being happy, and having to do something I didn't want to do. I know I was very thankful. I knew it was a real privilege to get to go to college, but I would have probably rather just stayed home and been with my family. So it got me out of my head. And the reason I'm telling you this is because if you are struggling with having what you want in life, or being happy, or feeling whole, or if you feel depressed, that's really why I'm making this video, is because if you feel depressed, my advice to you is to find a need. And because once I started like helping people who, when you're in depression, or when you're depressed, it doesn't even have to be like clinical depression, but like you're feeling depressed, you're so focused on yourself and your situation. And when you realize that there's other people who need things and who need help with things. For example, like the elementary school that I am closest to, they lost their tutoring program, and they would, they're desperate for people to help kids who need tutoring with their classes. Like your local churches, I'm sure, have ministries to your local community that you could be a part of and just be an extra set of hands, be a kind presence to another person, just to let them know there's so much need. And when you get plugged into that in whatever way, in your community, or maybe a special interest or a special passion, like, and I'm not saying stop taking care of yourself, like, don't, but I'm saying in addition, you're gonna find your way, you'll find your life, and you will find a joy, a level of joy that you never would have thought that you would have had. I remember when we started helping in that community, just the people were so happy to have people that wanted to help them. The children were so happy to have new people who wanted to, help them and teach them things and spend time with them. And I will tell you this, I had no time to be sad. And actually I was sad when I left, but when I came home, I got involved with a more local program with children, helping them in the same way. And also the Boys and Girls Club, they need volunteers. And I actually got a job then as the librarian for the Boys and Girls Club, because they need tutors and they need help too. And it's a great way to spend your life. It's a great way to not be depressed, but instead be so joyful that you're making a difference in people's lives. There's so many people that actually need something, and you could fulfill that need. Also, that gets you out and more likely to meet other people who are, interesting and caring, and people that you would want to spend time with. So I just encourage you to find somewhere to volunteer, find somewhere to give your time, or find just a group, a community of people that you can get together with and talk to. Your local library, maybe there'll be like a book of the month, or they'll know of places that your community might need, or your city hall, or your health center, like your local health center. But anyway, those are just some ideas, and I hope that it helps.